And 3, 2, 1.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to today's video. As the title and thumbnail say, it is a 70K Q&A, which is absolutely insane. If you would have told me like 3 years ago that, hey Jack, you'll be in Seattle traveling for a bodybuilding show, filming a 70,000 subscriber Q&A, I would not have believed you. But here we are. It's funny that about, I think, a little bit over a year ago, a year and 2 months maybe, something like that, we were here filming a 40K Q&A, and I was out here missing my graduation from grad school. So crazy what can happen in a year doing this full time, which is awesome. But yeah, we're gonna do a little bit of like a vlog Q&A. So I'm gonna take you guys through the day. We're gonna be traveling around Seattle. Then you go to a gym, Fremont Troll, Fremont area, go out to, what is it, Spokane? Or no?
Snoqualmie.
Snoqualmie. So just take you guys along for the ride, but also answer questions as we go. I asked you guys on Instagram for a bunch of questions, but we're just gonna do the basics here and then we'll kind of head out. But 26 years old. I am a first-time bodybuilding competitor. A lot of the questions are about bodybuilding, so I'll answer those along the way. I'm not single. I have no kids. I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. I went to UC, mechanical engineering undergrad, then MBA. Now I do YouTube and online coaching full-time. Try to think what else are the basics. Brown eyes, brown hair, 5'9", currently 150, but probably typically around 165 to 170. Yeah, those are some of the basic stats, and yeah, I'll answer more questions throughout the day, but that's all I can think off the top of my head. Anything else that people ask? Oh, dream car, currently the Audi Q8. What else do people talk about? Yeah, well, I'll figure out some more questions to answer, but then also I'll get into the actual questions you guys have asked. But yeah, those are the basics. Let's head on out and have a fun day.
She's really sweet though, like
And 3, 2, 1.
All right, so I think we're gonna try to do maybe like 4 or 5 questions to stop. So we'll kind of go down a list as I got them. So what age did you start working out or lifting weights seriously? So I guess it was training all throughout high school for high school sports and stuff. And then in college, I pretty much just recreationally lifted to stay in shape and allow myself to like eat and drink as much as I wanted. So I would say around 20, maybe 21 was when I actually kind of took bodybuilding more seriously. Before that, it was for sports, and then recreationally just to stay in shape, that kind of thing. How long does that crazy tan stay on you? Well, hopefully, as you guys can tell, the tan is for the most part gone. It is lingering on the hands a little bit, but honestly, as soon as you shower, the tan comes right off, or at least the majority of it. So yeah, it stays on as long as you want it to, and once you shower and scrub it off, it comes off pretty quick. How hard was prep compared to your expectations? I would say harder than I have expected, and then also the fact that I'm doing like 4 shows makes it even harder to stay lean. So I think if I just did 1 show and it all led up to that 1 show and peak and all that kind of stuff versus trying to peak, stay lean, peak again, like that's the hard part, is trying to like repeat the process again and again and again. How do you feel about what you've accomplished? I mean, pretty proud. At this point, it's like, once again, it's the best I could do. I definitely want to, once again, take some time off, come back in 4 or 5 years with way more muscle if I do this again. But yeah, very accomplished. I really didn't have any cheat days. I stayed very true to myself in terms of the prep, didn't really cheat, didn't really do anything I wasn't supposed to, so pretty proud. And once again, 4th place, even though that's like not winning, I'm actually more proud of that than I was of my 1st place at a show I didn't even like compete against it with anybody in. Last thing, who got you into fitness? I don't say anyone really got me into fitness. I guess playing sports growing up, I guess my parents, my dad got me into fitness through athletics at an early age. But as far as bodybuilding goes, it was kind of just like a natural progression from sports as a kid, then to training for sports in high school, to not playing sports and just lifting in college, and then enjoying the process of building muscle, building my physique, and wanting to look better. So no one specific, but I guess you'd say my dad and my parents at a young age of playing sports, that kind of thing. But yeah, we are currently at the Fremont Sunday market. So that's where we're kind of walking through. That's what you guys see behind me. A lot of shops, a lot of vintage clothing. So much vintage clothing. I've never seen as much like vintage clothing in one area. They also got some food and stuff, so might get Isaac some food. But yeah, that's some questions. And once again, we'll answer those throughout the day. But yeah, let's walk around the market. All right, so now we've made up to Carrie Park. Yeah, Carrie Park, and you can see a view of pretty much like the whole city, Space Needle, downtown, all that kind of cool stuff, which is awesome. A couple more questions. So, what has been your favorite thing about getting into fitness / bodybuilding? I would say just improving my general physique, health, fitness, all that kind of stuff, and then obviously making a career out of it, which has been awesome. So a combination of improving my own personal health, but also helping others, as well as creating content that can hopefully help others as well. How do you stay motivated for so long up until your show to keep pushing? A few things. It's not always just one thing, but I sign up for it. So it's one of those things where if I commit to something, I want to be a man of my word and stick to it, because in my opinion, if you can't kind of stick to your own word and hold yourself accountable, then how can you expect to have anyone else stick to their word, that kind of thing. Obviously, as I got closer and closer to the deadline, making these YouTube videos, making the content, so I can't really just cop out on you guys and be like, oh, actually I decided to pull out. And then the financial commitment as well. So all little things, it wasn't just like one thing motivating me, it was like little bits and pieces, and especially when we get closer and closer to the show, you kind of need multiple different things. It's not just like, oh, I really want to compete. It was like all kinds of things at different points. Was bulking up like you did for the first show worth it, or would you rather have stayed lean? You gotta bulk to build muscle. So as much as you want to stay lean, and I wish I could stay lean, in order to build muscle and enough muscle to actually have something when you cut down, you have to go into a bulk. So I'm definitely, don't regret going into a bulk at all. I definitely plan to get back into a bulk and build more muscle after these shows. How many shows are you competing in before we go back to the bulk? So 4 shows total, 2 down, 2 to go. We are 1 week out as well as 3 weeks out. So yeah, 4 shows in total. And then let's see here, what got you into bodybuilding? Pretty much the fact that I wanted to, once again, pursue some sort of short-term goal within my whole like health and fitness journey. Once again, my long-term goal is always to, I think I've said this before on the channel, is to never have to say no because I physically can't do something, and just have a, once again, we only get one body, so might as well take care of it. Make sure when I'm 40, 50, 60 years old, I can play with my kids, do things outdoors, always stay active. And then within that, I wanted to have short-term goals, and just happened to be bodybuilding was kind of like what made sense at the moment. Once again, that might change in the future, but right now it's all bodybuilding. It has been for the last 2 years or so. I'm definitely excited to get back to the balance of health and fitness though after the shows. But yeah, that's Carrie Park. That's a few more questions. Now we're gonna head to the gym, get a little bit of a pump, and then yeah, maybe answer more questions, maybe as we pose or get some photos, something like that. So see you at the gym. Got a nice little pump at Big Iron Gym. I will say no one was there working, and I kind of snuck in, but they also have free day passes, so I don't feel too bad. Decent pump, honestly a pretty cool gym. If you're in Seattle, Big Iron Gym, I'll probably come back and check it out at some point because it was pretty cool. Got a decent pump. This tan is still there, so we're actually looking pretty good, but definitely looking a little bit spilled over from the Five Guys and stuff last night. But otherwise, what do you eat the day after? What would you eat the day after? I assume that's gonna be like, what do I eat on my cheat show or my cheat day? So I will say we're gonna have an entire cheat day extravaganza on November 5th after my last show, November 4th. But right now, I think I would say pizza. Pizza's definitely probably my number 1. And then you guys will also see we'll do some breakfast spots. We'll have some cake, but I would say pizza's probably top of the list at the moment. Would you ever compete in a powerlifting competition? 100% yes. When? I don't know. At some point, maybe next winter after a little bit of a bulk. But I definitely need to get my body weight back up and get my strength back. But that'd be definitely something I'd be interested in doing in the future. What is your active recovery routine like? Honestly, for me, it's more so just walking, getting steps in, walking mazy, playing some golf. I don't really have like a necessarily active recovery routine. I like to make sure I'm stretched. But my biggest thing is blood flow promotes recovery. So I'm getting my steps in, doing whatever, golf, pickleball, just some sort of outdoor activity, I would say, is my best active routine for recovery. If you have so many hobbit, how do you find time for them during busy days?
Hobbies.
Prioritize your day. I mean, we all have the same 24 hours. There are people that are way busier than I am, doing more than I am. There are people less busy than I am, doing less than I am. So we all have the same 24 hours. Just make it a priority. Schedule things, I would say, is probably the biggest thing. Make a schedule, stick to it. And then, yeah, honestly, we'll wrap things up there because we still have a lot of day left and we have quite a few questions. But yeah, Big Iron Gym, shout out to them. I might throw up a few photos that we took, looking pretty good. But yeah, now we're gonna head down to Tacoma, meet up with Levi and maybe Rory, I can't remember. But let's go have some cold chicken in the car and drive down to Tacoma.
We got the cookie.
From where are we?
Metro Mart.
Metro Mart?
Yep.
You just walk up to the counter and you say, I want the cookie, and they know, because it's the only one they have.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and Levi's been talking this up.
You just break it in half? What's the middle
Yeah,
look
you
like?
gotta break it in half.
Give us a little,
Oh my
goodness.
Yeah.
Warm and gooey.
Looks crazy.
All right, let's see.
I'm gonna go straight for the middle first.
Was it worth it? Yeah, okay. That's what I thought.
Might be the best chocolate chip cookie of all
Yeah,
time.
I was
No
gonna say,
shit.
it's like one of
Oh
the
my
best
gosh,
chocolate chip
so
cookies
gooey.
I've ever had.
Perfectly undercooked in the middle. Not undercooked, but like intentionally soft.
Yes.
Yeah.
And crisp on the outside, just like the snickerdoodle.
Yep.
Crispy outside, chewy inside.
Delicioso.
I knew you'd love it.
Damn, all right, I'll have to come back and try it at some point
You
then.
got to. You got to.
Don't point that at me, I'll point this at you.
And then doing a Q&A along the way, because I think I'll hit 70K in the next couple of days, so I'm gonna do like a 70K Q&A. Yeah, exactly. All right, so a couple more questions. We're in downtown Tacoma. We got Rory and Levi showing us around right now.
Yo, yo.
And I cannot wait to come back when I can eat. And sounds like they got pizza, they got burgers, tacos, all the goods that I'll come back and try at some point. But a couple more questions. Biggest takeaway you've learned from the first 2 shows for the next ones? I would say the biggest thing is to just kind of enjoy the experience, but also we're gonna experiment with some carbing up. So all my past shows have been basically linear carb ups, so I'll carb up Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We're gonna try a heavy backload for the next show where I only carb up on Friday, but like double, if not triple the amount of carbs. So we're gonna try that. And then outside of that, I think I now know what to expect from 2 very different shows. So just kind of having that in the back of my head, feeling a little more comfortable that I kind of like earned my spot and deserve to be there, that kind of thing. How did your body handle the travel and peaking? I will say I'm very glad I traveled in on Tuesday for a show on Saturday. I feel like if I would have gotten here on like Friday for a show on Saturday, that would not have been enough time for my body to kind of settle in, because I will say when I got off the flight, I definitely felt bloated when I first got here on Tuesday and Wednesday, so glad I made enough time for my body to kind of acclimate to the time frame and stuff like that. What's your why that keeps you going even when times get tough? Oh gosh, I guess that's kind of similar to the one before where it's always something different. There's not just one single why. It's like, okay, I've got to make content. I committed financially. I told everyone on social media that I would do this. I don't want to be, I don't want to let myself down or live with regret of not doing something, stuff like that. So I would say my why, I don't want to have any regret when I do end this season. If you don't win, do you still feel like it was worth, or let's see, if you don't win, do you feel like all of it was for nothing? Curious about your mindset. No, not at all. Especially with bodybuilding, if you're just there to win, you're gonna probably let yourself down most of the time because you have no control over anyone else. Like, you can't control who else shows up, you can't control their physique, you can't control how long they train for. All you can do is control yourself. So even though I took 4th, I am super proud of that 4th because it was a competitive class. There were a lot of good guys, and I did everything I possibly could besides training for another 5 years and having more muscle. I had the conditioning, I had the posing, I had the symmetry. I just need more muscle, and that just takes time. So yeah, that's gonna wrap things up, at least for the vlog in Tacoma. Because we need to head back to Seattle. We have sushi tonight, which I'm very excited for. But once again, I'm gonna have like 1 single roll and some sashimi. But I've literally only had chicken breast today, so we do have the calories for it. But yeah, I like it down here. I just wish I could eat.
Like when you're walking through the halls of like the campus, they show you pictures of what it used to look like. This used to be like a huge place where obviously there's room there.
Yeah.
This place before was like just more city-like. It was just a place where like a lot of
What kind of sandwich are you thinking? Whatever one you recommend. Levi and Rory, but Rory's never tried this particular one. We got the Mike's Deluxe.
that looks
All right. I'm very excited. This is coming from a guy who worked at Jimmy John's, ate Jimmy John's every day for a year straight. So my taste buds for sandwiches are pretty intense. So let's see.
That bread.
Incredible. Incredible. Oh my gosh.
Is it absolutely delicious?
Absolutely delicious. Levi, another solid recommendation from Levi. I would trust this man with food recommendations in my life.
I know it, y'all.
Look at that.
That thing is gnarly.
That is actually so good. You want this half, Rory?
It's all you. I get access to this all the time.
And it was Mike's Deluxe.
See, my superpower is I'm not hungry at all, but if you say, do you want to eat something, I'll be like, I can do it. Like, it doesn't matter if I'm stuffed already, I can do it.
You get it.
All right.
All right, we gotta do
And
both cameras at the same time, because
Okay.
you gotta have it for your video.
all right.
One of these.
We're just wait, what? It's funny that now you have my camera and I
yeah, he has my.
All right, and I didn't have it by the cookie, but you know what? One bite's not gonna hurt. We're living life. This looks, once again, really good. I mean, this is clean. This is clean. All right, we're gonna go. Is there a pickle on that too? Honestly, I'm never like wowed by cold cut sandwiches, but I'm actually wowed by this. Like you think, oh, it's basic. It's like meat, cheese, bread. That's phenomenal. That is. I'm gonna put it down before I take another bite.
Yeah.
Let's just go with that. It's really, really good though.
The 1-bite taste test.
Yeah.
Before we head out, what is
Question.
your post show? Because Levi is actually his last show is the same day as my last show, November 4th. What is your cheat meal? Your like main cheat meal gonna be post show? Like obviously you're gonna have quite a bit, but like
like the main
step off stage.
favorite.
What are you gonna get?
Oh, step off stage?
Or priority? What are you gonna prioritize?
Oh, prioritize? So this sounds weird. Like it might think, and I think Jack said something the other day, like, oh, chicken, like we've been having chicken the whole time. Wings. Buffalo wings.
Oh, you mentioned that the other day.
Yeah, so like for me, I'm like a huge sauce guy. I love sauces. There's something about sauces that I really like, and I also like the crispiness of wings, and they're fried obviously, so you can't have that on prep. Like although we've been having chicken in like a, how would I say this? Like a fatterized way. Yeah. Like you can't have that. And I think it's
in a good tasty way.
Yeah, in a good tasty way. And just that with like some nice garlic fries and stuff.
Is there a local spot or what do you do for wings?
See, that's the problem right now. I'm really suffering to find a place to get wings. So I do have like a second option. The second option would be to go to this burger joint. That's like, it's literally someone has a house on Gig Harbor, which you guys will have to go to next time you're here. And it's a house, but it's a burger shop built inside a house.
That's dope.
Yeah, and
that's where you know it's quality.
Oh no, it is. It's like one of those places that like you go in, you're like, someone's doing something different here. So that'll be the backup. But yeah, so praying for wings.
All right, so it is the next day. We ended up being just a little bit busy, preoccupied, and forgot to kind of film an outro and answer a few last questions from yesterday's video. So yesterday was Sunday, today's Monday morning. It is a little bit chilly, so as you can see, I got my blanket and my hoodie on. I cannot wait to no longer be low body fat and not have to wear a crap ton of clothes when it's only like 65 degrees out. But a couple more questions. Somebody asked, he's 6'5", 210, lift regularly once it gets bigger. Any tips? Eat enough and train hard. That's pretty basic, but there's lots of tips on my channel. I would just go to the how to bulk video. Knowing what you know now, what advice would you give yourself in January about prep and training? Advice, I would say be a little bit more flexible at the start of prep because you have to be very, very strict at the end of prep. And as a whole, I probably would have only done 2 shows. I would have done my first show and the Seattle show and not these next 2, just because I'm kind of over the whole, like, once again, this bodybuilding process. I felt like I did the absolute best I could for that Seattle show, and now we're just gonna maintain it for the next 2 shows, which for me is just gonna be like, okay, like once again, I don't love the actual process of competing. I love bodybuilding, I love improving my physique, but I would have said, pick 2 shows, don't do all 4. Otherwise, can you have carbs with every meal when you're cutting? Yes, it comes down to calories. Doesn't matter how many carbs or fats, just total calories. I have carbs with pretty much every meal I have. So yeah, you can have carbs with a meal. And then we're gonna go rapid fire. So max bench press, I hit 315 once. Favorite split / day. I love a 5-day split, and currently chest and arms is my favorite. How to train around an injury, depends on the injury, too much to talk about there. Do you do any cardio? I do step counts, so 20K steps is my current cardio. Strength or aesthetics, go to Chipotle order. Chicken bowl, tortilla on the side if I'm bulking. If I'm cutting, lettuce with chicken, and then just a lot of toppings. Let's go with that. Always get the fajita veggies as well. Do you do personal training? Yes, I actually offer online coaching. Link it down in the description. Would you consider taking gear? No time soon. Advice for handling nutrition around the holidays, vacations, special occasions. Enjoy yourself. You can restrict yourself other times, but don't do a 10,000 calorie challenge every day of vacation, but enjoy yourself. Favorite TV show? Oh gosh. Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad are probably top 2. I'd say go with those 2. Do you play any video games? Not really anymore. Actually, Isaac, I talked about this. Black Ops 2 and Super Smash Bros. I used to play quite a bit.
Favorite fast food chain? Oh gosh. I'd say if like I'm thinking like Wendy's, Burger King versus McDonald's, would you say those are like top 3? I would go Wendy's out of those 3. Favorite pizza chain? Once again, probably I'd say Domino's. I feel like Domino's is always a solid choice. They're like Parmesan crust. Favorite ice cream? Oh gosh, so definitely gonna be testing this out. I would say Grater's Black Raspberry Chip or Ben & Jerry's Half Baked are my top 2 that I'm thinking about right now. Favorite dessert, ice cream, favorite cuisine, Italian. And yeah, there's a few more, but I think I'm gonna wrap things up there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, a little bit of a Q&A. Once again, I cannot thank you guys enough for tuning in my journey. 70,000 subscribers absolutely blows my mind, and I hopefully have stayed humble throughout this process and still and kind of the same guy I was, maybe just a little bit more comfortable on camera than I was when I first started videos. But yeah, if you have any more questions, definitely leave them down in the comments below. Otherwise, make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. And once again, on the road to 100K. See you guys then. Peace.